Souza, the 100K challenge chick. Thank you for watching this as a replay. Make sure to leave your comments, like, and share this video. It's going to definitely be helpful for you to start planning. So this is titled The Top 3 Reasons for Quarterly Planning. And quarterly planning is so important. I'm going to break it down to 3 really great reasons why you should be using it. And as always, this is a great time to grab some paper and a pen. I actually went back to a notebook that I hadn't had in a little bit. I realized I had some pages, so we're finishing them up. So grab your paper. The reason why we're talking about quarterly planning, clearly for those of you who are going to watch this live or right away, we're talking about planning for the next year. However, this is the type of information that you need to be checking in and using every 3 months, and actually create your quarterly plan and then make sure that you're revising and reviewing and putting those plans into action. So the 3 top reasons why you want to do quarterly planning, the top is because it allows you to plan for your bigger goals, right? Most of us like to do short-term planning, and honestly, if you only take it to 1 year, that is still considered short-term. What I do with my clients, and this is actually what I'm going to be doing with the 100K Society this coming weekend, is a workshop all about annual planning and introducing them to the quarterly system. However, we don't just tackle 1 year. We talk about the 4 quarters of 3 years. So I want them to hone in on what is the big thing that I want to accomplish. What am I known for? How am I going to get there? What is this big thing that I want to accomplish? And we break it down into 12 different quarters, right? So for a lot of businesses, if you're just starting out, I think a 1 year plan is reasonable. However, when you have a bigger goal, I want you to be thinking about that. And I don't want you to feel intimidated like, oh my gosh, I didn't take the stage. Like a few years ago, I wanted to just do speaking engagements and I wanted to do all this stuff in person. And then COVID hit, right? So I had to understand what was the intention of doing that and how could I still reach my goal without necessarily doing in-person events. So it helps you in that way, because when you're thinking bigger about what you want to accomplish and the reason you want to accomplish it, if you have to pivot, it allows you to do that faster because you understand your end goal. So for any of you who are joining me or even watching as a replay, I want you to put in the comments, are you typically more into like setting your long-term goals? Like you can think really big, like I want to conquer the whole wide world. Or do you think more in short-term, more immediate goals and say, this is what I'm doing this week. This is what I'm doing over the next few months. I just want to get a gauge of where you guys are and how you would normally approach your planning. So with the quarterly planning, I definitely help you think more long term, right? And the reason for that is because if you stay stuck in only creating short-term goals, you'll just do activities, do activities, do activities. But if you don't have that bigger long-term goal in mind, you can easily be distracted. And that is my second reason, top reason for using the quarterly plan, is it helps you to stay focused, right? The thing that is probably the enemy to most small businesses is the ability to focus. We want to try this, try that. What did I say? Just figure out what fits, right? So instead of sitting down and deciding, here's the long-term plan, this is what I want to accomplish, and then kind of working backwards to figure out how you're going to get that done, and then making sure the things that you choose, a course, a class, a business coach, a program, whatever you choose, make sure it fits into the long-term plan that you have created for yourself. When you don't do that, right, you don't have that focus, you don't have that long-term goal. So therefore, this person comes up, they have a class, oh, I'm taking that. Okay, now I'm going to take this other thing. And then before you know it, you've paid for 10 courses. You haven't gotten anywhere, and you're just thinking all these programs failed. Well, a lot of the fail was on you for not creating the bigger goal and making sure you were doing things that matched with your long-term vision. So the focus is going to save us a lot of time, save us a lot of money, and also allow us to build the necessary momentum so we're getting things done. I love for you to buy a course, join a program. I even have my own business coaching community, and we do monthly workshops, all these kind of things. I want you to take advantage of that, but only if it fits your long-term goal. What I find is people start bragging about all the different things they've purchased, but they don't have any real value to them because there's no bigger goal. So I want you to put in the chat, whether you're joining me live or replay, are you one of those people that just love to buy like the newest course, the newest class, the newest community, whatever it is? Are you that person, or do you think like, do you create the long-term goal and make sure that whatever you're investing in is fitting that particular goal? I want to hear from you guys. Let's see if I can see the comments. It's not connecting me. So I will see them at the end and respond. But the reality is, no matter who commented, I do business coaching. I see a lot of entrepreneurs, and the majority of us, I'm going to raise my hand. We all just like to be what I'm going to say, the creative types, right? We like being innovative. We want to keep our mind open. But the reality is, you have to understand, am I building the momentum necessary? Am I staying focused so that I can get my long-term goals accomplished? So we've talked about creating the plan so that you can think bigger about what you want to accomplish. And so the quarterly planning system, at least the way that I teach it, really dives into more long-term planning. So it gets you out of that short-term mindset and gives you that long-term picture. So that was the first benefit or top reason why you should also consider doing quarterly planning. 2 is helping you to focus on what you want to get done. So when a decision has to be made, this is supporting my long-term goals. No, this is not. It sounds interesting. It's going to be great for a lot of other people, but what I'm going to focus on is this path right here. And it allows you to stay focused. It allows you to build momentum, and it's going to save you a lot of time, energy, and money because you're focusing what you're doing on the long-term goals. And then the final piece that definitely is going to help a lot of you who love to do your short-term planning is, once you understand your bigger goal, right? Once you understand that long-term goal, we break it down into the quarters so that you then have smaller bite-sized pieces to tackle every quarter. And then you take that and create the monthly plan, and that informs your weekly and your daily. But what people love to do is say, this is what I'm accomplished today. This is what I'm going to accomplish this week. And where are you aiming? Like, what is the goal? So my plan, and as a business coach, I always work you backwards. What's the bigger thing you want to accomplish? How can we break that into quarters? And then each quarter, we take that apart and create the monthly and the weekly goals, and that informs your daily activity. A lot of us just wake up, especially if you have a job and other things pull your attention. You wake up, you put out the fires that you need to put out. You do the things that are screaming for your attention, and you feel productive. The problem is, if you're not working toward a specific goal, or you're not being strategic about getting certain things done, you're not really being that productive. You're being busy. Busy and productive are totally different, right? So this quarterly planning allows you to make sure you're staying productive because you understand the bigger goal that you're trying to reach. So those are my top 3. Create a big plan. It allows you to break it down into bite-sized pieces, and it forces you to stay focused on the path that you have created for yourself. So the other thing I do want to share are a few of the cons, right? Because a lot of times people present and they're just like, yes, this is how I do it. And they pretend like there are no cons or no challenges associated with getting this done. So here are some of the challenges that I've seen people have. And I want you to at least go into this. I definitely still want you to do quarterly planning, but I want you to understand the challenge that it's going to have for you. So one, the con is it is going to force you to think long term. If you are one of my business coaching clients, I'm going to ask you those hard questions. What are you trying to accomplish? Why? Do people need that? Are you actually producing a solution? Are you actually helping people get a result? Or are you just doing stuff because you're excited to do it? And, especially when people come to me and they're like, oh, I'm so passionate about this. And they feel like because they're passionate, they can just daily do things concerning their passion, but they're not accomplishing a bigger goal. So I'm going to challenge you to consider, what is that bigger goal? And for all of you who just like to do your daily activity, be busy, this system is going to challenge that. It's going to fly in the face of you just randomly doing activities every day and force you into long-term mindset. So that's kind of one of the cons, is that I do find some people who are new to business, they want to challenge this system because they love that rush of every day, like, oh my gosh, I was so busy and this person called and this happened and I had to attend this session and I did this, and they feel proud of that. But my point is, what are you accomplishing long term? So that's the one con that I know, is that if you're not used to long-term planning, this is going to force you to do something outside of your norm. The other thing that this does, and it's a con to people who are brand new, is it eliminates the let's try this, right? We approach so many things with, well, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, and maybe this will work, and maybe this. We're going to stop doing that, right? So if you get a bit of an adrenaline rush, which, it could be fun, it's creative, you feel, again, busy because you're trying so many things, this eliminates that try everything need. So when my clients are going off and they're like, oh, I'm following this new YouTube and they told me to do XYZ, and it's like, does that match with your long-term goals? Like, how does that fit into what you're trying to accomplish? I love for you to learn new things, gain knowledge, read books, but is it actually feeding what you're trying to build? So it eliminates your ability to just be kind of willy-nilly all over the place, because I'm going to challenge your idea on just doing anything and trying anything. We're no longer going to be trying. We're going to be putting ourselves on a path so that we can get more accomplished. The other thing that it does for some creatives, and this is a con for them, is they will start to feel trapped, or they won't make a decision at all. So when we do these long-term planning, I'm like, what is the bigger thing you want to accomplish? And they don't want to commit because they feel like, if I tell you this one thing right here, then I'm committed like for the rest of my life, and I can't ever change my mind, and I'm going to be able to use my talents however I see fit. So I don't want to tell you this long-term goal because you're going to hold me to it. So for creatives, sometimes you can feel trapped. And the thing that I'll challenge you with is, I'm asking you to create the long-term goal that is a super specific thing, right? So for example, I'm thinking, because I said art, I'm going to just go all the way to art, right? They do all kinds of like visual arts. It's feel like, I don't want to tell you long-term goal, because if these different opportunities come up, I'm going to take advantage of it. on the other side of this is if you don't plan stuff done, right? So if an art show, say 20 pieces, but if you didn't create 20 pieces in a cohesive manner, then you've created 20 pieces. They have no theme, they have nothing. And when you try to go and approach a gallery to display your work and it's all over the place, it doesn't really speak to anything, you're not likely to get a yes. Whereas if you create a theme, stay on target for 20 pieces, then you can take that to an art show, sell it, and continue on. Have multiple shows, change your theme. But the thing is, if you want to be all over the place to see what's going to work, this system is not for you. It's not. And so I have definitely kind of battled it out. And I've had people tell me, I want to stay open. I want to keep all my options open. And the reality is, I'm not telling you to close your options. I'm telling you to create a path so that when the options that fit your destination appear, you can take advantage of them. Just the same way that you need to know these are the things I'm saying yes to, you absolutely have to know these are the things I'm going to say no to. And you have to start doing both, because you can't say yes to everything and still expect to have the time, energy, money, dedication, all of those things to actually see something all the way through. You just can't do it. And honestly, I feel like when you're newer to business, you need to be the most focused that you could possibly be so that you can see success faster. It's not you're new and you should do everything and be open and see what's going to work. It's I'm new, I'm very focused, I only do this, and I'm going to see this all the way through. Then as I grow, I will expand my business, my product line, my services, but I'm going to start here, very specific result, very specific clientele. That's what the quarterly planning allows you to do. Take your long-term goals, chunk them down into what you're going to get done each quarter, and then that informs your weekly and daily activity. The other big thing is you're staying on target with your big goal. So there are pros and cons to doing this. It absolutely challenges the person who loves to just wake up and do whatever they feel like doing, because now we're putting you in a more aligned path, and you're going to do the things that are productive to your end goal. So quarterly planning, I'm absolutely a fan. The systems that I use and the coaching programs that I personally belong to put me on a 12 quarter charting. So I have to say, this is what I want to accomplish in 3 years. Here's how I'm going to chunk it down. Each year has the 4 quarters that we're planning, and quarter over quarter, I need to be looking at my business and making sure that I'm continuing to move in the right direction. So I'm a huge fan of quarterly planning. I want you guys to use it as well. So many companies use it. You'll always hear we're approaching quarter 1. We're currently in quarter 4. And that is what they're talking about, just the quarters of the year. Most people use them absolutely the way that the year is laid out, from January to December, with every 3 months representing a quarter. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. If you learned something, put in the comments #helpful. I want to hear from you guys on whether you're planning to do this. Do you want to do the quarterly planning? Because I can put something together for the Facebook group. If you are a member of the 100K Society, we have a workshop dedicated to teaching you how to do the quarterly planning. So you can access that. You can attend live, whatever your choice, but we will definitely do that together as a business coaching community. It's not too late to join the 100K Society. You can join us by going to 100ksociety.com And I currently have founding members rates. Feel free to use them. They definitely will be changing in the coming year. You guys have a great day. Thank you for joining me, and let's get to work. Bye.